Once upon a time, far above the tallest mountains and beyond the reach of any bird, there was a place known only in dreams, the Cloud Garden. It floated gently in the sky, held aloft by the softest clouds, where time moved slowly and everything breathed in harmony. In a quiet little village down below lived a boy named Theo. He loved watching the clouds. Every afternoon he would lie on the grass and stare at the sky, imagining shapes in the clouds: elephants, castles, birds, and ships. His grandmother used to say, "Every cloud holds a dream." And the bravest dreamers can visit the cloud garden. Theo believed her. He believed in things that others had forgotten, in stars that whispered, in winds that carried songs, and in gardens that floated in the sky. One sleepy evening, when the sky was a pale lavender and the stars had just begun to twinkle, Theo found himself dozing off under the old willow tree near the river. As his eyes fluttered shut, a gentle breeze brushed his face. But it wasn't just any breeze. It smelled of jasmine, honey, and the sweet scent of sleep. When Theo opened his eyes, he wasn't under the tree anymore. He was standing on something soft and white. At first he thought it was snow, but it wasn't cold. It was cloud. All around him were hills and paths made of fluffy white mist. Flowers as light as feathers swayed in a breeze that seemed to hum a lullaby. He had arrived in the cloud garden. The sky above was closer than he had ever seen, painted in pinks and blues. Trees with cotton candy leaves lined the paths, and butterflies with transparent wings floated lazily around glowing lantern flowers. "Hello," Theo whispered, unsure if he was awake or dreaming. From behind a cloud bush popped a creature, round, soft, and glowing faintly like moonlight. It had a face like a smiling pillow and eyes like stars. "Welcome, Theo," it said gently. "We've been waiting." "Waiting? For me?" "Yes. Only those with the quiet heart of a dreamer can find their way here. Come, the cloud gardener wants to meet you." The little glowing creature, a puffin, it said, bounced ahead, leading Theo along a winding cloud path. As they walked, Theo saw magical things: floating books that read themselves aloud, wind chimes made of light, and sleepy animals curled up in nests made of stars. Finally, they reached the center of the garden where a large tree stood. It wasn't made of wood or leaves, but soft flowing vapor and strands of silver. Beneath it sat the cloud gardener, a tall, gentle being with robes like drifting fog and hair that sparkled like dew. "You've come, Theo," the gardener said warmly, "and just in time. One of our dream flowers needs your help." The gardener pointed to a small patch nearby. There, a tiny flower lay closed and gray, unlike the others that shimmered in color and song. "This is a dream bloom," the gardener explained. "Each one holds a dream from your world below, but this one is wilting. Its dream has been forgotten." Theo knelt beside it and touched its petals. They felt cool and sad. "What dream does it hold?" he asked. "Yours," the gardener said with a smile. "The one you almost stopped believing, about floating gardens, whispering clouds, and stories in the sky." Theo blinked. It was true. He had begun to think maybe he was getting too old for such dreams. Maybe clouds were just clouds after all. But now he was in a dream. With new wonder in his heart, Theo closed his eyes and thought of everything he loved: stories told under stars, the sound of wind in the trees, the soft feel of clouds. He poured all that love and belief into the tiny flower. Slowly, the dream bloom began to glow. Its petals unfurled in shades of blue and silver, and a soft melody filled the air, like a song only hearts can hear. "You've saved it," the gardener said softly. "And in doing so, you've saved a piece of your own wonder." Around them, the cloud garden shimmered brighter than before. "It's time to rest now, Theo," the puffin said, landing on his shoulder. Theo yawned, his eyes heavy. "Will I come back here again?" he asked. "Whenever you truly believe," the gardener replied. "And whenever the world feels too heavy, just look to the sky. The cloud garden is always waiting." The clouds began to swirl gently around Theo, wrapping him in warmth and peace. The last thing he heard was the soft lullaby of the dream bloom, singing him into a deep, gentle sleep. When Theo woke up the next morning, he was back under the willow tree. Birds were chirping softly, and the sun was just rising. But clutched in his hand was something strange and wonderful, a single glowing petal that shimmered silver in the morning light. And from that day on, whenever Theo looked up at the clouds, he smiled, not because of what he saw, but because of what he believed.